Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today we are going to be kind of doing a loose review of Premier Wool-Free sock, as well as talking about and introducing the new Farmstand line. So Farmstand is an extension of the Wool-Free sock line. It is a cousin or sibling to the fruits line. But before that, back in the long ago, before the big C and world shutting down and everything else, we had Wool-Free sock, Wool-Free sock, and Wool-Free sock with sparkle. Although I think the plastic is kind of dimming the sparkle. Let me tell you, this is going to be a Christmas shawl eventually, and it's fantabulous. So I had quite a few of you guys actually reached out and asked whether or not I was going to review the new Farmstand launch from Premier. I hadn't actually considered it, as this is an extension of an existing line. I normally don't cover a ton of like the color line expansions or the expansion of the same line, especially since, you know, I was pretty sure most of my subscriber base was very familiar with the Premier Fruit. We did review the Premier Fruit sweet rolls, just because so many people had questions about those as how they were going to work up, how they looked in projects, things like that. But Premier has been ever so kind with the fruit and Farmstand lines to show us exactly what these work up as. And here we are. So introducing the Farmstand line, we do have 7 colors here, I believe. I don't think I'm missing anything. We have purple basil. We have cucumber. We have eggplant. Then we have carrot. Pumpkin, which is my favorite of the 2 oranges. Red onion. And tomato. So I love these colors. Once again, these are vibrant. They're wonderful. These are super fine, 235 yards, 215 meters, 1.75 ounces, 50 grams, 93% acrylic, 7% PBT. At the end of this video, I will have some better pictures of everything all laid out because we have tons of colors to talk about here. But I did want to introduce Farmstand. Now, I do hope, I haven't seen anything, but I do hope that Premier launches a Farmstand sweet roll line that kind of mirrors the sweet roll fruits that we already have. I like the Premier Wool-Free sock, don't get me wrong, but my jam is the sweet roll. I love sweet rolls. I have the entire fruits collection. I did a review, then we did a follow-up after I tried it with some Tunisian. I have the entire rest of the fruit lines that I did not have for that because I want to make a Tunisian blanket using my follow-up sample that I used Tunisian crochet for. By the way, elephant in the room, no, I do not have my glasses. I'm getting new lenses. I had to turn in both pairs at the same time. Otherwise, I wouldn't get the 50% off discount for my second pair. So I have 1 pair that are transition lenses that I wear when I'm leaving the house. And then the pair you normally see when I film that are my indoor glasses only. So everything's a little bit hazy. If my eyes look like they're kind of wandering around, plus I think I look like a different person, especially in film and pictures and stuff without my glasses on, but that is where my glasses are. But yeah, I hope Farmstand is released in the sweet rolls. I think they're pretty fantastic, and any excuse to have more of the sweet roll line. I'm just saying. I've been a fan since the first launch of that. That's been my go-to cake yarn. That's been one of my favorite cake yarns from the beginning. So, real quick with fruits, we do have blueberry, watermelon, orange. Then we have lime, kiwi, strawberry. And I actually bought the entire fruits collection by accident. I thought I was buying the sweet rolls, and I accidentally bought the entire fruit sock. So I'm not complaining, but we have plum, watermelon. Didn't I just show a watermelon? Yes, I did. I have 2 watermelons. I'm not sure how that happened in the ordering process. We have dragon fruit, grape, pink grapefruit, and lemon. So, I mean, again, I think all the colors are fantastic. These all go very nicely together. Since I now have the entire Farmstand line, because I wanted to talk about it with you guys and show you guys the colors, and actually confirm that, you know, once again, they are what they are. I mean, I trust Premier, don't get me wrong, but anytime I'm bringing something to the channel, I want to make sure I'm doing, you know, some due diligence. I mean, I'm not going to like run down and harass manufacturers or something like that, but I do at least want to make sure, you know, what we're seeing online is in fact what we're getting and everything. Sometimes, you know, things slip through. IT messes up something for how they set up a pixel, and now everything just looks off. Everything's exactly like I expected it to be when it arrived. So you're just starting to stack these together in the basket. Like, doesn't that just look so inviting all together? This is all going to have to be some sort of a large modular project altogether at some point. But that is Fruits and Farmstand. Now, for the review portion of this. So, I've actually been using the Premier Woolfree sock for a while now. This isn't a new yarn, like I said, to me or to anybody, but I have made projects with it that have stuck around. This has been a hat and cowl set that I ended up gifting. And it's also part of my fingering weight Addy tube blanket that I did a couple years ago. I do also have this quantity that is going to be, this is back when it was sold in the 100 gram. This one also has 5% metallic added to it. It is the shimmer, but this will be a Christmas shawl. I really wish you could see that shimmer through the plastic, but I don't want to take it out of the plastic and make more of a mess for myself. But most worn and kept here were my Vegas light socks. So I do have somewhere in the house, I'm assuming it's still in the house, another 4 balls of this that I plan on doing a hat and scarf with. But this is the color Vegas lights. These were finished either in 2019 or Q1 of 2020. This is the OMG heel. It's a vanilla sock with a rib in the arch, which I do with a lot of my socks for me, and particularly my shorty socks, but in general. As I've said before, I have a super high arch, and I like that little on my arch. But because these are acrylic based, acrylic does not rebound like wool does. So I wanted to create something to give even more, just a little bit more of the negative ease effect without necessarily creating extra negative ease. Now, I have been wearing these for 6 years. I know for a fact these were completed before the pandemic broke out. So these have gotten me through all of that. I know I have worn these to a number of like the Main Street markets and stuff. They're not my like most hard worn socks. Like I'm not wearing these to work out, but these are, you know, common worn socks for me. I wish I had increased the negative ease when I made these, because acrylic does not rebound. And when you wash it, it doesn't draw in as much as quickly as wool does. I would never, if you knit socks out of these, never, ever, 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 ever put these through the dryer. When you heat set acrylic, it's going to heat set in that open state where it's been stretched, it's going to heat set there and it's not going to rebound at all. And after you stretch something in acrylic like that, it's never going to shrink back into itself. Whereas like something that you block with wool and water, you know, you can re-wet it and reblock it and it'll be fine. Acrylic doesn't block like that. Once blocked, always blocked, until you reheat it, and it's just going to get looser and looser every time you reheat it. So if you do want to make socks out of the wool-free sock, do not ever put these in the dryer. They will not rebound. They will lose their shape and everybody's going to be real sad. You're going to have a bad day. Now, I do machine wash these generally. I have delicates bags, so if I machine wash my socks, that's how they go through. On cold water, delicate cycle, in a delicates bag. You can see here, like in this zone in the ball of the foot, as well as a little bit here. It's not that it's matted, but you can see where the stitches are compressed. I weigh over 200 pounds. So that's a lot of weight smashing down on my little footies when I am walking about. So I do have, you know, evidence of wear. Most of my socks actually tend to wear out here, but we do get this smashing or matting on the ball and the heel. So for 6 years worth of wear, heavily worn through the winter, I would actually say these have done very, very well. Obviously with the acrylic, the color has held up very nicely. We're still in this bright, super saturated zone. They are, you know, a little bit floppier and a little bit looser than a lot of my other socks are, but they're still 100% wearable after 6 years. So I can't really complain with a little bit of laxity, but I have done everything to take care of these and extend the wear, as these are acrylic. So, you know, a little bit more, you know, thought needs to go into it. In my opinion, a little bit more thought needs to go into how you're going to care for these. But as far as, you know, these holding up as sock yarn, as intended, wool-free sock would imply the intention is to make socks out of these. It's a good alternative, especially if you're allergic to wool or you're making something for young children where skin irritation could be a massive drawback. As far as using this as a sock yarn as my go-to, it will probably never be my go-to just because I don't have a wool allergy and I really love wool. I love wool socks in particular. Merino is definitely really nice on my little sweaty feet. I am one of those people that have a high amount of European ancestry. So deodorant is a must. And I produce a lot of earwax, and I am a very damp person. Even when I was super skinny back in the day, I just produce a lot of moisture. So palms and feet, I have actually considered Botox in my feet in the past because of the way I perspire. But yes, so I do prefer something with a little bit more breathability than the acrylic has. But winter wear socks, I mean, they're great. They're comfortable. They hold up. I like it. I don't necessarily want it for all of my socks is the only thing I would say. Now, I have done hats and scarves with it, which have held up wonderfully. I do know the person that I gifted this to has been wearing their hat and cowl set now for about 5 years straight. And that's one of their go-to everyday combos to throw on in the winter. It's held up wonderful. They throw theirs in the washer and dryer. We're fine. So it does hold up. It holds up to really, you know, difficult wear as well as the light wear, heavy care. Because I don't wash my hats and scarves that often. But I do have a ton of hats and scarves. So I'm able to rotate pretty fluidly through my collection. So it's not like I'm wearing the same hat every day or even 2 or 3 times a week. I tend to wear a different hat every day of the month because I probably have that many hats and scarves. So, you know, that having been said, now this is part of a blanket that I use all of the time. I am thinking the Farmstand and Fruits might become a hexagon blanket. I'm not 100% sure yet, because if I do that, I'm not sure how I want to connect them, because if I do them connected directly to each other, that might be a little bit much. And I'm not sure if Premier has a wool-free sock that's like cream or some neutral that I could join everybody together with. It's been a while since I've looked at the wool-free sock. Now, we're going to have a gorgeous Christmas shawl here. We're going to have some sort of something out of the Fruits and Socks line, or Fruits and Farmstand line now. But yeah, I mean, 6 years of wear. I don't mind showing my clean worn socks. And, you know, 5 years of wear. And it holds up great. Great colors. The colors are definitely color fast, even in the neons. I don't know what to say other than, you know, it's another hit from Premier. It's another quality product from Premier. Like I've said, Premier just kind of produces a quality product. If what they're selling is what you're looking for, so far I haven't had a major issue with any of their lines. There might be a run of a color that gets messed up or something, but I mean, they have wonderful customer service by and large. So I am an affiliate. I do have an affiliate link. If you want to purchase through my link, that would be wonderful and much appreciated. Not necessary by any means at all. But if you're interested in the wool-free sock, if you've used the wool-free sock for something, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. This community is wonderful. We've built a community where your contributions are just as important as what I'm saying in the video portion. So definitely leave your comment down below if you have thoughts, opinions, or even questions you would like answered, because I think sometimes when you have extensive experience with something like I've had with this sock yarn in general, you tend to forget some of the questions somebody might have, or what questions you had at the beginning, because it's, you know, now been 7 years of using this yarn. To me, it's a background character almost. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, it's like, how do you describe, you know, the anti-pilling line? It's a good quality acrylic that holds up to wear and tear. You know, I showed you the blanket that I made years ago with that's been put through the washer and dryer multiple times, and how it's held up. To me, that's kind of all you really need to know, but I know I'm forgetting questions that you might have if you're not familiar with this line. So anyway, ask away, comment away. I would love your feedback. Please, once again, always remember to be kind to me, to each other. I love you. I hope you are having a wonderful, fantastic day. As always, I look forward to seeing you real soon. Bye, guys.